Hello, boys and girls. Today we are going to do a review of poetry. So some review things about poetry are some poems have rhyme, not all of them. Some poems have a rhythm or a beat when you read them, kind of like a song. Some poems have repetition where things are repeated. Poems are supposed to create pictures in your mind. And some poems appeal to your five senses. So there are about 4 different types of poems. You've got free verse, narrative, humorous, and lyrical. And we're going to take a look at each one separately now. So let's talk about free verse. Okay, so some components of free verse is there's no set length to this poem, usually no rhythm or rhyming pattern, usually no rhyming at all, and actually it really has no rules at all. So I'm just going to read you an example of a free verse poem, and if you look over at the picture in the light blue box, that's a little poem called Rotting. And it is an example of a free verse. Candy makes your teeth rot. TV makes your brain rot. Air makes the salad rot. Time makes the fruit rot. And hate makes your heart rot. So that is an example of a free verse poem. Okay, another form of poetry is a narrative poem. Narrative poems tells a story. It will have a plot, meaning that it'll have characters, setting, problem, and a solution. And it can rhyme. So let's take a look over to the left, and I am going to read you a poem called Crocodile on the Loose. I went out walking with my crocodile when he slipped out from his collar. I yelled back, "Come back," but he just ran and didn't hear me holler. I chased him down the sidewalk and through the playground too. I almost caught him at the slide, but he pulled a switcheroo. Just when I thought I could run no more, he came right back to me. For my crocodile can be a bit crazy, but in the end, he loves me. So that's an example of a narrative, and that did tell a story about a kid losing their crocodile. Okay, another form of poetry is lyric poetry, and this type of poem expresses strong feelings, and it is said kind of like you would sing a song. It definitely has a rhythm to it. And most likely this poem will rhyme. So let's take a look at a lyric poem. This is called a Have a Little Frog, and I'm going to say it in like a song-like voice. I have a little frog, his name is Tiny Tim. I put him in the bathtub to see if he could swim. He drank up all the water, he gobbled up the soap, and when he tried to talk, he had a bubble in his throat. So that's an example of a lyric poem. Okay, humorous poetry. This is probably my favorite, and this is funny poetry. It's very silly, and it's supposed to make you laugh. These are poems that are just for fun. So let's take a look at a funny poem. This is called We're Running Out of Toilet Paper. We're running out of toilet paper, paper towels too. We haven't got much Kleenex left. I'm not sure what we'll do. We tried to buy some yesterday. We went to every shop, but all the shelves were barren from the bottom to the top. We called our friends to see if they had extra we could borrow, but they said they have just enough to last until tomorrow. Our roll is almost empty now. A solitary square is hanging on the holder, and it's way too small to share. I hope we find some paper soon, or other kinds of wipers. If not, I'm told I'll have to use my baby brother's diapers. And that is written by Ken Nesbitt. And that's an example of a funny or a humorous poem. Okay, so let's just practice. I'm gonna pull up a poem, read it to you, and then I'm gonna ask you some questions about it. Okay, the poem is called Homework I Love You by Ken Nesbitt. Homework I love you. I think that you're great. It's wonderful fun when you keep me up late. I think you're the best when I'm totally stressed, preparing and cramming all night for a test. Homework I love you. What more can I say? I love to do hundreds of problems each day. You boggle my mind and you make me go blind. But still I'm ecstatic that you were assigned. Homework, I love you, I tell you it's true. There's nothing more fun or exciting to do. You're never a chore, for it's you I adore. I wish that our teacher would hand out more. Homework, I love you, you thrill me inside. I'm filled with emotions, I'm fit to be tied. I cannot complain when you frazzle my brain. Of course, that's because I'm completely insane. Okay. So, number one, how can the reader tell that this is a lyrical poem? So let's look at our choices. It tells a story. Its lines do not rhyme with one another. It has lines that have rhyme. It has a funny ending. So take a minute and think about why that poem is a lyrical poem. I would also classify that as a humorous poem as well. Okay, you should have chosen it has lines that rhyme. It tells a story. That's a narrative. Its lines do not rhyme with one another. That's typically free verse. And it has a funny ending. That's not usually with lyrical, it is with humorous. But this, I would classify this poem as both lyrical and humorous, and that's okay to do that. Okay, so let's look at one more question together. Which of these lines from the poem rhyme? Now remember, when you're looking for rhyme in a poem, you have to look at the last word of each line, okay? So when I'm reading this to you, I want you to look at the last word of each line and see if it rhymes with the line under it, okay? I love to do hundreds of problems each day. You boggle my mind and you make me go blind. B, homework, I love you. I think that you're great. It's wonderful fun when you keep me up late. C, there's nothing more fun or exciting to do. You're never a chore, for it's you I adore. D, I'm filled with emotions. I'm fit to be tied. I cannot complain when you frazzle my brain. So take a minute and I want you to specifically look at the last word of each line and see if it rhymes with the last word of the line below it. That's going to be considered rhyming lines. Okay, I hope you chose B. Homework, I love you. I think that you're great. It's wonderful fun when you keep me up late. The last word or the last word in the line, the first line is great, and then right under that is late, and those two rhyme. So I say that those two lines from that poem rhyme. Okay, now you will practice on your own with an assignment that your teacher has given you on poetry.